And we have shot clock.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Probably not for a while. Still the empty office. Still good. Probably this last one. They had a.
Yeah, Donnie Asphalt said he had a pretty good year, put on 1,800 miles this year.
Yeah,
he said the snow was good.
actually is closed mid-March. They had real warm weather. I don't know if they had that.
Yeah.
No, that missed them.
It did.
So they had
And they had
awesome
we
weather.
got
All you need is a day or two of that.
Yeah, the trails are thin.
Yeah.
We were up there.
All righty, you ready to go?
I don't.
Let's call the Board of Public Works and Capital Assets meeting to order of March 8th. Roll call.
Gil is here. Someone here.
Guzikowski here. Seifert here.
Scale here.
All righty. Approval of minutes for 2/8 of 22. Any corrections or changes? Fred, any misspelling
No,
of Seifert?
no.
No, there is a misspelling.
There is?
Yeah, in number 5, Lieutenant, it's not Sagan, it's Sagan with an A.
Good catch.
Michael Eagle.
Wow.
That one stood out pretty good. I beat you that one, Fred.
Any other corrections or changes? All right, so Lieutenant Sagan needed to be updated or corrected. All righty, number 4, informational.
We gotta approve those.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah. Gil moved to approve minutes of February 8th, 2022.
Tolman, second.
Roll call.
Gil, aye.
Tolman, aye.
Guzikowski abstain.
Seifert, aye.
Scale here.
All righty. Number 4, informational review of common council related actions.
Oh, I'll be taking this one.
Awesome, thank you.
Guzikowski. Sitting in for Andrew. There's probably 2 items of importance. One being the award for the architectural design for the dorm remodel of Fire Station number 3 to Plunkett and Rasich Architects for $19,000. And then on February 18th, the city did close on the purchase of Lot 1 at Oakview Business Park, which is at hard corner of Howell and Oakwood. And then on the Peter Cooper land on 5th Avenue, also known as Lake Vista North Bluff, they did close on that. So 2 items.
Any questions or comments, team? All righty, thank you. Number 5, consider a motion to approve the update to the policy for damage to property within the street right away. Who's got this one?
Yep, right here.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, look, this policy update was originally brought to the board back in October of 2021. Through that meeting, some discussion was had regarding being a little bit more general in relation to what damage or how the damage occurred would be covered. So we made some amendments to the first paragraph, really including not only damage from direct strike of the plow with the mailbox or the mailbox post, but also just the throwing of snow onto or at the snow, the mailbox, as long as it was a result of city operations plowing around them, that the city would be responsible and would cover either the repair or replacement of the mailbox or post. Really what we're looking to do here is still make the property owner whole if the damage was in fact caused by our snowplow operations. So really there's probably minimal financial impact as a result of this. We will at least inspect every mailbox if we get a complaint about it, and likely if it was related to our actions, we'll take care of it. And if not, if it's pretty blatant that it was an old rusty mailbox or the pole was rotted and really a tiny bit of wind or just a little bit of snow pushed it down, we may not cover it, or only, we'll settle something out where we take care of a portion of it. So really it's allowing for a little bit more of inspection of it prior.
To be able to challenge.
Correct.
Man, are you, sorry, are you guys, seeking a cement base in there too? If there was existing cement base on the whole, or?
Honestly, I'm not sure if they do include the cement. I know it doesn't talk about it in the policy.
Cause if you got a 4x4 buried in a, cement that, you double.
Right, yeah.
That, we're gonna leave that to you. You got discretion to focus on that, or?
Right, yeah, I mean, we'll basically try to put it in place how it was prior to the damage.
You guys good with that?
Seems brought up to be a little more, just for the residents.
Alrighty.
Right, anything?
I'm okay.
You
Yeah.
good with it?
Yep. See no problem.
Okay. Then let's, make a motion, to approve it.
Seifert moves to approve the update to the policy for damage to property within the street right-of-way caused by snow removal.
Scully seconds.
Roll call.
Kill eye. Bowman eye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Scully,
All right, number 6, consider a motion to approve the purchase of a solid air portable, air compressor from Northern Tool.
Yeah, unfortunately, this wasn't budgeted for 2022 capital. It would have been nice if we would have had that in there, but it is a 30-year-old piece of equipment that really is kind of failed on us now and would cost a good amount just to get that to be repaired. We felt it was a good opportunity, given that we did have some sale proceeds from some old equipment that we could apply towards this purchase. It's a very important piece of equipment that we use. We use it for installing signposts, blowing out road cracks after we've routed them, air chisel, jackhammer when we're working on concrete or catch basin removal, or just blowing debris off the road prior to putting down new asphalt or doing any crack sealing. So we'd like to get it replaced sooner than later, so that as spring and summer come around, we have it in place for those efforts. We received three quotes for the piece of equipment. Northern Tool and Equipment was the low cost at $20,779.99, and so that's who we're recommending. All similar quality and specifications for those three trailer mounted compressors.
Man, I assume you're using this thing often enough for leasing or temporarily renting when it's not useful?
Right, we use it very often, and so, we'd be leasing it pretty much throughout the warmer months of the year, so it would end up costing quite a bit, and then just running into issues if we're not able to get it, that would present a problem to us too, to kind of operate around.
These things last forever the way it looked?
Yeah,
1992 is the last model?
Correct, yep. So it's had a good run.
Yeah.
Matt, were you able to trade in the old one, or?
We will try to basically sell it probably for someone who wants to use it for repair parts on a similar aged model.
Okay.
This is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Part of the cost of doing business. Any other questions, or if not, motion?
You'll move to approve the purchase of a Air portable air compressor from Northern Tool and Equipment in the amount of $20,779.99.
Scully seconds.
Roll call.
Eli.
Bowman, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Scully,
Alrighty, number 7, consider a motion to approve a change order, number 2 for the Rossett Avenue Water Extension Project to IHC Construction.
So this is Rawson East, by the railroad tracks, by the trucking terminus down there. When we were doing the work, the idea was to directional drill underneath the bridge that crosses the county road there. We couldn't, during construction, we couldn't find the bottom of that structure. It was expected to be a box structure that would have a floor. This one does not. We checked with the county, they didn't have plans that they could readily access for us, so we attempted to get underneath this and just ran into nothing but headaches. We could not get underneath it. So we rerouted the water main up towards the road more, over the top of the culvert, and then came back around. That's what this change order is for. It's the work to do that and the delays caused by hitting the pole.
Any questions or comments for Matt?
Mike, I had a quick question. What was the original cost for that project? Do you recall?
400 and, we'd have it on the project payment, 400 and some thousand. Yeah, about 415,000.
Okay. So we've had a little increase on that
Yeah,
project.
significant.
Yeah.
Yeah, this project has been a bit of a headache.
Okay.
But Mike, you tried to make it work, with the directional drilling, so it's, you have to get an A for effort there.
Right.
Because,
Yeah.
you never would have thought, nobody would have thought that you would have had this issue, so.
Right. Yeah, between that, we had some issues with the railroad, getting that crossing and that, and some delays. We had a unmarked energy line that caused us quite a bit of delay. This has been a difficult project, but it's what you run into occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
Did we have problems with the railroad company,
I wouldn't say problems so much as they're just expensive to work around. So they've got to have their watchdog crew there. You can only work when they're available to watchdog the tracks. I think at one point it was 3 hours after construction that we were still getting charged by the watchdog, because they have to go all the way down to Oakwood Road to pick up their signs and go all the way north to pick up their signs. It's a big effort.
Okay.
Mike, you said it was 415 was original?
Yeah, about that.
Is that all in with design costs and stuff too?
No, that was just construction contract.
So design is probably another 20% on top of that?
Yeah, I would say, a little less because of the.
But still 50% overrun, right? So
Yeah.
when we get done, so that's like a Weatherly Drive kind of fiasco, right, with the cost overrun, so. Yeah, any feel for, there's real unanticipated kind of impacts, right, from a cost standpoint? There's no way to have foreseen the crap we ran into there.
No, if we could have gotten bridge plans that identify the depth of it, then the design could have accommodated for that originally. Just didn't have any of that information, so.
Mm-hmm. That trestle's probably, or box culvert is,
I don't.
decades old or not?
Well, decades, yeah, but I don't feel like it was that old. It was a little surprising when the word came back that they couldn't find plans for it.
The county or?
Yeah, the county.
Yeah, figures. Yeah.
Are you surprised about anything with the county?
They got bigger fish to fry probably. I guess it's something to be aware of as other projects like that, so.
Right.
Bridge replacements would be the most probably, potentially impactful. Or other stuff you don't know what you're gonna run into.
Right, they can be tough.
Cool. So I got Goose.
Alrighty. Motion on number 7.
Seifert moves to approve the change order number 2 for Rawson Avenue Water Extension Project to IHC Construction Companies, LLC, in the amount of $102,524.77.
Gail, a second.
Roll call.
Gail, aye.
Tobin, aye. Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Sigalia.
Alrighty, number 8.
So now we're paying for that change order. We've approved the change order, and now we're gonna pay the contractor for it. That's what this progress is.
Alright,
How did you feel with the contractor, by the way?
With all the challenges that they had, they actually did a really nice job. We were happy with them. It's the first time we worked with this company. They did a really nice job, and they worked with us pretty well, actually. So yeah, we're happy with their work.
would you use them again?
Yes, definitely.
Questions or comments?
No.
Motion?
Gail will move to approve the progress payment for Rawson Avenue Water Extension Project to IHC Construction Companies, LLC, in the amount of $103,147.06.
Seifert seconds.
Roll call.
Gale, aye.
Tolman, I.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Sigali, aye.
And number 9, consider a motion to approve the progress payments 1 and 2 for the PLC replacement project at the water treatment plant, Next Electric. Is this you?
Yes, so this contractor's been working well. We've had supply chain issues on getting the pieces and parts in order to do the project. I think the total cost of the project is somewhere in the neighborhood of $750,000 or so. The latest, we thought all the parts would be in by the end of February and they can start scheduling the work. And now we found out now it's the end of July. So we hope to get those parts in. It's really one analog converter part that needs to be, we've got everything else that we need to get in order to put the package together. We're likely going to put the project on hold until September or October. We just can't shut down the electronic portion of the plant in order to do this work. It's risky to do during the summer. So if some of the parts come in early, we'll hit some of the less critical PLC replacements. It's a good test run. We could do that in June maybe. More than likely, we're not going to be able to do this work. We're still not letting the supplier know. We're still going to push it and try and get all the parts so we have them in our hands in order to do the work when we have the ability to do it. So it's really disappointing on this one, but what can you do?
Mm-hmm.
Your folks doing the work in-house?
No, Next Electric is doing the work.
So they're flexible enough to?
They are, yeah. They've actually worked with us pretty well, I would say, on accommodating that.
Any comments, guys?
No,
Down there? You
looks
good?
good.
Well, Fred says it looks good.
Good
Thank you.
job, Mike.
All right, motion, guys?
Gail will move to approve the progress payments number 1 and 2 for the PLC replacement project at the water treatment plant to Next Electric in the amount of $279,500.
Sigali, seconds.
Roll call. Gail, aye.
Tolman, I.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Sigali, aye.
All righty, number 10, consider a motion to approve utility vouchers for payment in the amount of $796,000.
So I dropped off for you a new summary sheet. The only difference in the summary sheet, the numbers are all the same as on the very last page, the second page of that. In your packet, there was an extra line added for a contractor or for a vendor that actually showed, I think, backflow control equipment for $700-some thousand.
I asked you about that.
Yeah, that was really the subtotal.
That was very confusing.
Oh, yeah, I was a little shocked when I saw it too. What in the world? It was a mistake. It was a legacy from a previous month's spreadsheet. That was actually a previous month's vendor, and somehow it didn't get taken off, and it goofed up the alignment on the rest of it. So this new sheet shows it correctly. Again, the numbers are the same, but they make more sense now.
Any questions on operations, everyone?
Yeah.
No?
We gotta approve the vouchers, Goose, so.
Oh, yes, we do. You're right.
You guys good on the vouchers? All right, cool.
Yep.
Gail will move to approve utility vouchers for payment in the amount of $796,968.71.
Seifert seconds.
Roll call.
Gail is aye.
Tolman, I.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Sigali, aye.
So on general operations, there's a couple of things I want to highlight. I want to recognize this is the 27th year in a row we've gotten the GFOA award for the certificates in excellence in financial reporting, something to be very proud of. And I'll just read a little bit from the award letter. That the certificate was started to encourage and assist local and state governments to go beyond the minimum requirements of generally accepted accounting principles and to prepare an annual comprehensive financial report that evidences the spirit of transparency and full disclosure. The certificate of achievement is the highest form of recognition in government accounting and financial reporting. It's something that gets prepared in-house and submitted for the award, and it's something that they've gotten the award for 27 years, so that's pretty proud.
You also have an award for an individual on your staff for his competition.
I'm gonna get to that. Yeah, absolutely.
Mike, how many years you been part of that?
Well,
Cause I've been around for 13 years now, so.
so I would say longer than me. So I started there in 2003, but started as general manager in 2013. So it's really since 2013 that I've been kind of.
Steve was, and then Donnie?
Yeah, yeah. And Steve was really the leader.
Oh, he was the accountant.
Yeah.
He was, right?
Yes. Yeah, he's the one that kind of set us on the path to get this going, and that all those years, made sure we.
And how many utilities in the state typically get that?
Great question. There's not a whole lot. I don't, and that used to have that number for me,
Yeah.
and I don't know it any longer, but it's a handful. It's not too many.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Yep. So I also want to recognize Jeff White. He just crossed his 35 years with the city. So it's something, it's fantastic. He's still going to be with us for a while longer, which is fantastic too. Yeah, he's a great mentor. He really knows he works at our treatment plant now, started in distribution, and then a couple of years into his career, moved to the treatment plant and has been there ever since, and really knows that place inside and out. So it's a great resource.
Yeah, those folks are, a lot of knowledge walks out the door when those people retire.
Yes, sir. Very true. So commercial industrial water usage, the only thing I'd note there is on the commercial, it was up a fair amount, and a lot of that, and it's, compared to last year, and last year was such an unusual year, it's the Assembly of God is using a whole lot more water than they did before. They're having a lot more gatherings. So it's not surprising. It's just they're sort of getting back into the normal kind of. Let's see, Emerald Grove also is using more. Of course, they're leasing more up, so that's not surprising. On the industrial side, We Energies is looking for a leak. We've been talking about that for a little while, so they're still up quite a bit too. They're getting a little bit more interested in trying to find where that water might be going. So it's great.
That's a lot of water, isn't it?
It's a lot of water. There's a couple that are down. Crawford's down, Electrotech is down, and MMSD is down a little bit as well. But overall, we're up in that category.
So does the We Energies leak show up on the satellite?
It did. So there are two spots on their property that does show up on the satellite leak detection. And we made them aware of that. We're a little careful yet, though, to endorse that you probably have a leak here because we haven't had a lot of success ourselves yet. So we're hoping we've got our new locator equipment. We're waiting for training on it and played around with it a bit. We're hoping as we get better with that, we can become more confident to say, yeah, you definitely look here. You definitely have a leak.
It's a positive, at least, that it showed up on the property.
Agreed.
So,
yeah.
Hopefully it's not underneath a coal slurry pit or something, right? Slide it into the lake again.
Now, Mike, do they have to make the corrections or fix that leak?
Yes. Yes.
They tell you it's not our responsibility.
That's correct. That'll be something for that.
Good.
We talked about the PLC project. I wanted to highlight that on the engineering report. The distribution report, Tanglewood Apartments, we had valves that needed to be replaced or repaired. That because it was over 10 feet deep, we hired Mid-City to come in and do that work for us. It's not something we can do safely. And the report says Mid-City. We've used them before. On a topical note, we have a water main break going on right now on Rawson Avenue. Similar, west of Farm and Fleet, kind of underneath the railroad track there. We've had a few problems there. We had Mid-City out there digging. In fact, I think it was a day of a board meeting then as well. It blew last night. We don't know if it's exactly the same area or not. What we're going to do is have our people go out and start identifying. There's high pressure gas there, so they're going to start identifying that and the fiber that's there. We're going to do that work. We don't yet know whether it's something we can accomplish or not. It's a 20-inch main. If we can do that work safely, we'll do it. If not, then we'll be calling someone else to come in and help us out that can handle the depth a little bit better. The good news, sort of, is that there's no service on that line, so we can shut that line down or throttle it down and nobody's impaired. So that's good.
What's it serve? 20 inches there for a reason, right?
It's a transmission main out to our Janet booster station. So we've got strength now in 10th Street that can bring that water up. The plant does notice this as being down. It's not gonna cause them a huge problem, but, yet they do notice it. So we'll try and get back on. The last time we did a break out there, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, the guys were looking at the report. There was 20 hours working on the break, 1 hour of overtime. And that's because they just shut it down for the day and came back the next day and hit it again. And that really shows the convenience of not having, in this case, customers on the line. So they could leave it shut down and then come back at it the next day. So we're hoping this is not going to be a 3-day repair again, but it is a difficult area to work in. So also, one that came up on the master plan is one that ought to be.
Is that our lift station there? Who's got that facility that's right there?
That's a storm lift station for the county.
County. Because that was redone a few years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's got to be a lot of stuff there.
And we're probably, the break indicates at this point, probably about 50 feet east of there, starting up the hill a ways. We're not gonna be right there, but it's still a difficult area. Good news is the guys who worked on that break 7 years ago are still here, and so they've got familiarity with what they saw and that really helps.
Mm-hmm.
The other item I wanted to highlight was Ryan won, as Fred kind of alluded to. We see the picture in the packet as well. Ryan won the Meter Madness competition here at the Wisconsin Water Association. They take a bucket of parts, they take meter parts in a bucket, dump it out, and the guys got to assemble it as fast as they can, and the shortest time wins. Some of the parts in the bucket are not needed to assemble the meter, so it's a little bit challenging for them. They do this every year. They do this nationally as well. Ryan will go on to represent Wisconsin in the national competition. I think he was 37 or 38 seconds that he did, and so pretty proud of him. Yeah, on the picture, he's the guy in the lighter blue shirt, guy with the hat, the guy with the largest trophy. So that's Ryan. Proud of him for doing that. He's done this competition for a couple of years now. And then down below is just a picture of Darren, who was moderating one of the sessions, the technical sessions at the conference as well, as his role as chair of the distribution committee.
Where was this held?
Yeah, Wisconsin Dells, at the Kalahari. On the goal sheet, the only thing I really want to highlight there is starting next month, we're going to add 2 categories on there. And one is the number of hydrants that are out of service in the city, sort of at any one time. So we'll be able to track that a little bit easier, and also the number of valves that need repair. There's a fair amount of valves, and it would be fairly easy to slip through the cracks by tracking it here to make it a little bit easier. Darren does look at it, as he said, every week he looks at to see, where those valves are, what we can do to replace them, what other workload is in that. It'd just be nice to be able to track how many valves or hydrants are out of service at any one time. Plant operations, the only thing I wanted to share.
Sorry, Mike,
Yes, sir.
Are you budgeting time for those every year, or how are you just doing them as, because I know you've talked about proactively replacing valves.
Yes. Yeah, and unfortunately, there's one area that we really wanted to get back to, and we just didn't have the ability. And I think I talked about before, our valve turning operation discovered even more valves that were leaking and needed a repair. So we start getting off of some of the proactive ones to fix the ones that present themselves, more immediately. That's been difficult. So yeah, we do try and reserve some time for that, but honestly, it's a back burner type item. We don't like it to be, but it is.
And these valves are useful only when you need to shut off service to fix something else, typically?
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Otherwise, they're left alone. And
right.
No harm, no foul.
We exercise them and that's it. That's all. Yeah. But when if you have a main where you have to shut 10 homes off, if you have to go back a couple more valves in order to do that, if you miss one valve, usually you have to shut off 2 or 3 more valves. That being the case, you could have 30, 40 people out of water. So you really are trying to minimize that. So on plant operations, I just wanted to highlight the peak day and the yearly peak day. Those are relatively large numbers for this time of year. And what that expresses to us, if you go back and look at weather, those are warm days, and that's car washes. It's very evident that you can see car washes at the treatment plant side. And we've heard it for years and just sort of take it for granted. But in talking with the newer operators there, that they're a little bit puzzled when they work their first winter and go, why is the demand so high? Today is no different than it was yesterday. It's because of the car washes. And if you drive around town, you see, it'd be a 45-minute wait to get in some of these car washes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good sales for the winter. And then Mike got past the state lab of hygiene for certifying our lab to do the microbiological tests as well, so. That was it.
There's a new one that's proposed on Toots have a big enough water supply?
Yes, yes, there's a huge main there. I think that's a 30-inch main.
Oh,
So they should have lots of clean, fresh water.
Use as much as they want. Although I imagine they got some, they have recycling requirements for,
You know, that's a great question. I don't know. It seems with what we see from the water production that no, that it seems to be once through because there's.
so they're sending that stuff down the storm drain? Does that sound right?
No.
It's treated? Sanitary?
Yeah, sanitary, yeah.
Typically, they have grit tanks in them to settle out the grit and things like that. Some do recycle.
What about the solutions? I mean, are they biodegradable,
It's all
dissolve?
water-based.
Yeah,
The worst thing is the oil you wash off the cars.
yeah, okay.
Okay, Mike, I've got a question for you. Forest Hill Water Relay. That's for Deb.
Oh, sure.
What are you doing? You're replacing the water main?
Yes. Yeah, the main on both streets will be replaced.
You're gonna park the equipment in front of your house all summer, then.
Yeah. When are you gonna start this project? Do you have any idea?
So we're in design now. We look to start that July, August, start doing that
Okay.
construction work.
How long do you think it would take, roughly
About 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah. There'll be some restoration coming after that, maybe some road repair and that, but about 2 months, you'll see the heavy construction.
Okay. Have you notified the people?
We've not yet, because we haven't really started anything yet.
Okay,
So, once we get closer to actually doing the work, we absolutely will send out notices.
okay. Thank you.
Equipment rumbling down the street. As you know.
They park those white trucks in front of the place?
Yeah. When your car falls into the hole.
Yeah.
We need, number 11, item 11, do you have anything that you wanted to talk about, Matt?
I guess to bring up your, West Rawson Avenue and West Drexel, they're being let actually today, probably within the next hour or so, the DOT, so we'll be finding out those cost, schedules as soon as possible, let you guys know. Obviously the county's doing West Rawson Avenue, we're finishing up some work up there for street lighting, should be getting back on that probably towards the end of this week or beginning of next week. Demoing and putting up new stuff that arrives. Like a lot of other places, we've seen about a month to 2 months of delay in delivery of street lighting. So not uncommon right now. What I'm hearing, 3 to 4 months now, to continue going forward. So as far as delays. Other than that, we did advertise or close the advertisement for a design engineer. We did actually have one interview, and we're in the middle of negotiation. Clear that up probably staff member on by April. Very good candidate for the Department of Transportation in another municipality, which I won't disclose at this point. So, other than that, if you guys have any questions, happy to answer.
Nothing?
Nothing, right?
Thank you for the information. Anything else?
I got one question. Last month, we tabled that discussion regarding the volleyball. That we're supposed to discuss.
I can respond to that one. I had a discussion this morning with Andrew Vickers, and they are kind of bouncing around whether they want to take this to common council because of the recommending from one body that has citizens, which is another commission, to another commission to approve it. They think that probably has to go in front of the council. The mayor and him are still kind of kicking that around. So
Okay.
we'll
Just want to make sure
that
that
decision's been made.
missing something.
Good deal.
That's it?
That's it.
All right, motion to adjourn,
Segala makes a motion to adjourn.
Seifert seconds.
roll call.
Gills eye.
Showman, aye. Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Segala, aye.
What happened to our like 2-hour regular?
Right?
Yeah, don't change this.